Welcome back. So I've bought the Canon EOS R1 and I finally have it here in my hands. This is the camera that's supposed to define a new, more specific era for Canon. It's their flagship in the mirrorless world, and after spending some time with it, it's time to share my very first impressions. But before diving into the details, let's talk about what this camera represents. The Canon EOS R1 wasn't just another release, it's Canon's statement piece. It's their flagship mirrorless body designed for a specific professional target group. That includes action, sports, wildlife and documentary photographers. Of course you can easily use this camera for all kind of photography genres, but its main focus is for a more specific work environment. The first thing that I noticed when I picked up the Canon EOS R1 is the body. It's big, it's chunky, it feels like what you would expect from a Canon 1 series body. Especially that integrated grip design is just amazing. It's the kind of camera that looks like it belongs on the sidelines of the Olympics or in the hands of a wildlife photographer tracking animals. And yes, I personally really love these bigger camera bodies because for me they make things so much easier. That's why I also have the battery grip for my Canon EOS R5. The whole construction feels indestructible, just like Canon's best pro bodies have always been. The weather sealing is clearly designed to handle rain, dust, cold and even heat. And the ergonomics are classic Canon. Everything falls right under your fingers. If you're coming from an R3 you will feel right at home. And if you've used the Canon R5 like me you will notice the difference, but handling wise it's just amazing. The smart controller joystick is still here, which I absolutely love, and some of the buttons are illuminated, a fine detail but one that makes shooting in dark environments so much easier. For example, I took a couple of photos of the blood moon and these buttons made things way easier in the dark. But now let's talk about the heart of the R1, the sensor. Canon has gone with a brand new back illuminated stacked CMOS sensor, and let me tell you, this thing is fast. We are talking about blackout free shooting, ridiculously fast readout and a great dynamic range. The resolution lands at 24 megapixels, and yes, that's lower than a lot of people expected, but here's the thing. Canon didn't build the R1 to be a megapixel monster, they built it to be a fast and reliable tool for specific scenarios. And yes, I totally love the 45 megapixel R5 and I still use it for a variety of things, including detail shots. But 24 megapixel is in most cases more than enough for all kind of photography genres and even most commercial work. You can even print your work, and especially if you just post stuff on social media, everything gets compressed anyway. I mean, the megapixel topic is huge, but all in all, more megapixel doesn't mean it's a better camera. If you're interested in that topic, definitely check out this video here on my channel. In my testing so far, the R1 delivers incredible images straight out of camera. And in combination, there's a low light performance. Shooting at high ISO feels shockingly clean. So yes, this is a camera you can trust in terrible lighting conditions. And of course we need to talk about the autofocus, because yes, this is where things get wild. Canon has brought their new dual pixel AF to the R1 and I can confidently say it's the best autofocus I've ever used on a Canon camera. The subject detection system is incredible, I can easily lock onto people or animals, the tracking feels sticky in a way that makes you trust the camera completely. I tried it with fast moving subjects, especially birds, and the R1 just nailed it. And the eye detection, it's on another level. Even in low contrast, tricky lighting or with subject turning their heads, the R1 finds the eye and holds it. So yeah, especially for sports and wildlife photographers, it's a game changer. What's also impressive is the customizability. You can tweak how sticky the AF is or what subjects it prioritizes. It feels like Canon built the system to adapt to whatever situation you throw at it. I personally use a dual back button autofocus setup that allows me to use a single dot autofocus as my main setup to frame the shot. And as soon as I press this button half or fully, I can switch to the animal eye detection, including faster shooting modes. And yes, this setup makes things so much easier. Next up, let's talk about speed. The Canon EOS R1 can shoot at 40 frames per second electronically. 40 frames per second, that's insane. And the buffer, it's massive. You can just keep shooting and shooting without having any issues. Combine that with dual CF Express Type B slots and you've got a camera that's built to handle the demands of professional shooters in the field. But what's about video? Canon knows how important hybrid shooting is in these days, and they've loaded the R1 with some serious video power as well. I personally don't use it that much currently for video because the C70 is my main video camera, but the R1 still offers everything to capture the footage you need. You're getting 6K RAW up to 60 FPS and 4K up to 120 FPS. And yes, the image quality is just amazing. But what really stands out is the usability. You've got C-Log 2 and 3, internal RAW recording and all kind of professional tools you would expect. So yeah, the R1 won't let you down in the middle of a shoot. In combination, the autofocus in video is also awesome, so at the end of the day, the R1 is such a great camera even for hybrid work. But of course, we all know that the most important part is still the workflow. Beyond this specs, what I really appreciate is how Canon thought about the day-to-day usability of this camera. The menus are classic Canon, logical, easy to navigate and customizable. The touchscreen is responsive and fully articulating, which makes shooting in odd angles way easier. And the EVF is one of the best I've ever looked through. It's bright and sharp, everything you need to get your job done. But what's about battery life? In my opinion, it's fantastic. You can get through long shooting days without worrying, and if you're a heavy shooter, swapping batteries is quick and painless. I currently have just 2 batteries at home, and in most cases I just need one, and that's it. So the final question is, who is the Canon EOS R1 actually for? And let's be clear, this is not a casual shooter's camera. At its price point, it's aimed at a specific target group: sports photographers, wildlife shooters, photojournalists, and people who need speed, reliability, and image quality without compromise. If you're someone who just wants to take a couple of family photos from time to time, the R1 is completely overkill. But if you're the kind of photographer who lives for capturing specific moments, the R1 was made for you. It's a camera you bring when failure is not an option. So yes, after spending some time with the Canon EOS R1, here are my honest first impressions. This is easily the most capable Canon camera I've ever used. From the build quality to speed to the autofocus, it's clear Canon has thrown everything they have into this body. When you're shooting with it, you're not worrying about whether the camera will keep up, you just focus on creating, and that to me is what makes it so special. Is the Canon R1 perfect? Well, no camera is. It's expensive, it's heavy, and for some, 24 megapixel might feel limiting. But for the target group this camera is aimed at, it's exactly what they've been waiting for. In my first impression, the Canon R1 is everything I hoped it would be, and maybe even a little bit more. But we will see. So that's my first impression of the Canon EOS R1. What do you think about the R1? Let me know that in the comments. So, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're new here, don't forget to smash that subscribe button to stay updated for upcoming videos, and I'll see you in the next video.